But before that, SP Tulsian has joined in to talk about a few sectors and stocks. Morning, Mr. Tulsian. Some of these textile stocks have been doing rather well, and they've been in the news. S. Kumar is talking about a Reed and Taylor IPO. Alok is talking about raising money in a QIP. If you had to buy one or two stocks from this space, what would those be?
Udayan, see, when you talk to the textile people, I think the bullishness has started from the spinning sector, which has all percolated to the integrated to the as low as the garment makers also, whether you talk of processing, weaving and, garment making. But when you talk to them, they say that they have not seen this kind of thing happening in the last 10 or 15 years. And, this is what my view is, that whenever you see this kind of cycle which comes once in 10 years, because textile is a typical 10-year cycle, which we see once in, 10 years, you see this kind of revival happening. So I think that time has come. And the best part is that if you see, I'm not saying maybe one has to exclude the stocks like Alok Industries or something like that. But majority of these stocks are, ruling at a P multiple of 4 to 5 with a good EPS. In many of the cases, you see EPS of the companies in double digit with virtually no debts, and whatever debt or, the loan you have been seeing in the books is largely to finance the working capital of the company, which really cannot be considered as a debt if it is amply backed by the current assets or the inventories or the book debts. So I think the revival is going to happen, and that is going to last for 1 year. And if somebody can really pick and choose the right stocks, you can expect a return of as high as 100% also in these segments. But as I said that, yes, my view is more on the spinning sector. So my stock pick could be Vardhaman Textile, could be Century Enka or CRM Silk Mill. These are a few stocks, which looks quite interesting, because in all these cases, if you see, as I said, that they have the EPS of close to about, maybe in CRM Silk Mill it is 30 plus, in Century Enka it is about 60, in Vardhaman Textile the same case it is about 40 rupees. So if you take, in majority of the cases, that may not be the case with Vardhaman, but in case of Century and CRM, again both are debt-free company. So if one can choose these stocks, but only thing, the caveat is that you need to have a time horizon of 6 months, because generally traders, they get tired when they don't see the stocks moving up in next 1 week or so. But I think with a time call of 6 months, some of these stocks really looks very good. Yeah.
Mr. Tulsian, we've been discussing PPAB of Shipyard for a few days now. Even if the stock has bottomed out around those 50-52 levels, how much upside do you see from here?
See, then it all depends on the order flow, because as we have been discussing when the company went public, that, this is the only company which can really replace the demand of, or, which can really cater to the Indian Navy and ONGC. Because if you see the major order of the refurbishing or of the repairing is going to Southeast Asia and to Russia by Indian Navy. And the kind of information, gathered from the management, that the 2, 3, 4 rounds of the visits have all been completed by them. And we all know that it takes a very long process. Honestly, I have no idea about the recent progress on happening on those counts. But I don't think that one can really take a call of a company catering to the usual kind of business with the kind of the third largest in the world-class facilities. So once you see those orders start flowing in, and in fact in the recent past, maybe in last 1 week or so, in fact we have seen the huge delivery-based buying happening at the institutions level. So maybe they have some clues, because that the stock has been covered by 1 or 2 conferences also in the recent conferences held by the broking houses. So at least I hold a very good long-term potential on the stock. As you have rightly said, that it looks to have bottomed out at about 50-52. Company went public at 58. So maybe my upside target is, could be about 40 to 50% over next 6 to 8 months from the current levels.
Mr. Tulsian, what's happening with some of the other natural resource stocks? I mean, NMDC is under pressure, but so are stocks like GMDC, Sesagoa is not moving. Overran themselves, you think?
See, Mitali, I think Sesagoa is directly, now getting, compared with NMDC, because earlier you had a distorted valuation of NMDC, maybe at around 450 to 500 levels. And at that time, when you were taking a comparative call on Sesagoa, we were finding little upside there. But now, with the grey market indicating a price of about 308 to 310, and we expect that the NMDC is likely to rule above its issue price, the advantage to retail category will definitely be there to the extent of 15 rupees. But I hope that share will rule between 300 to 310. So with this taking into consideration, I think Sessagoa is also, settling at those levels because direct comparison will be made between the enterprise value of both the companies, which is likely to be about 30% of NMDC if you take a call on the reserves and as well as on the earning potential. Coming on GMDC, I think GMDC has lately become a quite volatile stock, and especially for the very, very ideal stock for the traders, where you see stock moving up to 170, 175 and then again coming down to 130, 140. So it is more delivery based trading happening on this counter, which is giving a good trading opportunity to the extent of about 20-30 rupees, nothing else, because I don't see any other reason of going negative on GMDC as well.
The related space, Mr. Tulsian, has Apollo Tyres sort of extended itself a bit, or do you think it's a correction you would like to buy into?
Then still I don't think that in case of tire company there is much comfort, because the kind of price rise we have been seeing in the rubber, which has moved to as high as 140. Honestly, though the tire stocks have started rising, but I am not getting comfort of participating, whether you talk of Fiat or maybe Apollo or maybe MRF at these levels. Yeah.
Mr. Tulsian, clutch of smaller IPOs, one that opened up yesterday, and it's seen some subscription. I think it's already 1 times oversubscribed. 2 that opened today. Anything you like?
Mitali, in fact, the issues which have opened today, that is Intrasoft and Goenka Diamonds, honestly, I don't like both of them, because if you see case of Intrasoft, it is too small a company with a top line of about, with a bottom line of about maybe 4-5 crores per year, and with a top line of 30 crore. They are trying to mobilize over 50 crore, that too with a company sitting on cash balance of about 20 crores already in the books. And even if you see their tax liability, that has been, raising a doubt, because under income tax they have the carried forward losses of as high as 10 crores, while they have been showing only the MET liability and, the tax liability to the extent of 6-7%. If I go by the Goenka Diamonds also, again, things are looking quite stretched for them, because it is quite evident that they are, financially under great strain, because having book debts of over 8 months with sundry creditors, as high as, virtually fully financing the sundry debtors of the company, and you have no sizable growth happening on the domestic front. So again, this is a usual kind of diamond export company where, they are relying more on the export market, where the margin is very thin, and still they are asking for a P multiple of 7 to 8 times as against the peers available in the market at 4 to 5 times. So honestly, both these issues I am not very too gung-ho. And the issue which is closing today, that is Sri Ganesh, that looks quite interesting, because they have a very good earning, they have a very good cash reserves, their bank facility is quite strong for them to support their working capital facilities and all that. So that issue looks quite good. Yeah.